Assalamualaikum sir. This is my Traveler app project. Actually, here I am working a app where we can get travel, where to location, get location, get to place. We can buy ticket and where and going there what we need to 2 3 checklist expenses what will cost, so total will be described in this video. At first talk about how the app is organized, like first 3 step. First UI layer, like activities. This is these activities and XML layouts. There it is, sir. Then data layer. Here is my data checklist. We can list expenses, trip, list, user. Now I have not added the list expenses, but just I make the API data center. Next part 3 is network layer. This network layer packages from the online API, layer points, and composed of models, API interface, and entry client. So now first talk about Gradle files. The project can include the app module, build app, Gradle app. This is my build model app. And Android declared independency. It is independency, Android, root, lifecycle, and JSON and Kotlin objects. Without this SDK labels, permission, the project is incomplete, and network and synchronization. First, talk about Android manifestation. It's critical because registers my activities and send the launchers this Android manifestation. Here actually mandatory on Android 12 plus, and with an intent filter, this fits the manifest mark or fail. Exported my data. Like Android exported 2. So this is the exported to the summer data and a manifestation connected with intent filter. In data layer, entities like user, Kotlin, trip Kotlin, expensive. Here it is, checklist. I can check items, which is add items, expenses like list expenses, summer, if specific location, order expenses, and user. And we can log in and user list can be added. Like each is annotated with entity. Maps to table, example entity at class trip. So user ID initial, this will be annotated. Entities define the scheme the room database generates. Then we can talk about GOA, type SQL, user DAO, checklist, expensive team already told about it, user DAO, and interface trip DAO. So like trip, checklist, expenses, trip, user. Are always read. Actually, their work is to read and write the data. Their service functions, so there are all the main thread with the connected, and then database, app database center. Here room database. So creates a physical SQLite database and gives video instances in database. symmetrical pattern avoids multiple instances and leaks. Then we can talk about network layer, model JSON and Kotlin. JSON layer is now through API like this is network. Here actually declares endpoint client, generates the implement and does the HTTP and JSON parts to list. Object API client, they are actually central place to configure and reuse retrofit. Only change the base URL here for use it. URL are activities responsibility like splash activity, activities responsibility, see simple bandwidth, screen, short delay, immediate navigation, long activity, then connected login activity, like login activity, minimal username password, like username and password. This is then register activity, creates the user in room. Register activity is login. Then somehow there is some bugs and not working type. Then trip activity, home screen after login shows the user trips, recycle view and trip idea, trip activity. So it is connected to lists like expenses checklists. Okay, adapter submit list. Add trip activity, we can add it trip. There are expenses, store activity. It's like tour activity, we can linear tour activity add on. There's store already added, or if I added, then I not need to add that. Then we talk about adapters. Adapters like three adapter, two adapters. Adapter for example like render these adapters by data models to row layouts. And security activity versus item. So then talk about app flow status, app launch. Splash is connected to login after delete instantly. Splash activity connect and login. Then go to page to my login activities. Here it is, login page. And then path also talk about add trip. We can add trip. We can save trip. Then we can add it already added, not need. There is tour activity. We can add it here. Some bugs are not working. Changes in database, you are actually network app client for Kotlin common. And this actually my local database is entities, table database with entity, and data access object DAO. SQL queries interface with DAO. Here it is. Check it's expensive. It's like my entities and layouts, values, trick, expenses, check item. So this is my local database. There top model tool, apply to API. Server username, JSON server connected to database. Using memory variables, data would vanish after closing app with room data, brushes, light travel color, keyboard type, save, continue, friendly way to run SQL. So this is my app. Unfortunately, sometimes not working. Just you can say about layout. this I can view tool list, where is the tool list I can add it but not showing tree. Sorry for this, and this is, thank you for listening.